Alrighty folks, we have to work on sharpening up the points on these step-ins. You see they're brand new and I want to do it before we start using them. Otherwise, it'll never get done. And we have to move the sheep today. I spent last night, well yesterday, we you really can't tell from the barn, but I went ahead and got bales set up all across here and in behind the barn on top of that ridge over there. So you got to move the sheep, but I got to sharpen these posts, and that really looks horrendous in the camera, but you know, oh well. We are working on this. That's why it's more and more of a mess, because I had this all cleaned off and then we started working in the back corner, pulling it onto this, and now it just looks like a disaster. Like most of the shop, but small steps. So, speaking of that, anybody know how to keep birds out of this style of a building? This is a closet, and even with the doors closed, you can kind of see up in that corner, the birds get in here and have my whole life. So when you want to come out and work, you always have to sweep the floor and clean off all the bird off everything, or you gotta keep all the toolboxes covered, just so they don't, because they bring nests in here and they drop on the floor and all that. So if anybody's got any idea, like any like battery powered ultrasonic stuff maybe to keep the birds out, I don't know best way to do it, but I got to figure that out. Anyway, so we are trying out the strain right this time instead of Gallagher or the O'Brien's. Let me get some pliers. Where's my pliers? Steal my brother's. Anyway, instead of the O'Brien's, we got the guy we bought the tire winder from, which that's going to be in this video. Some more of that farmer ingenuity. He really likes these, and so I was able to have them in my hand and look at them when we was at his place. And I kind of liked how they felt. Time will tell on how well they last up for us. But, come on, thank you. We'll see. But, like most of these posts, nothing ever comes sharpened. Magnetic. Let go. Alright. So, they're always so blunt that if you are fighting a little bit of ice or snow, you can't get them in the ground. You end up bending them, breaking them, all that wonderful stuff, because they're like that. They're just a square. I mean, they did try to round these a little bit, but they should have made them into a point. Yeah, I've been trying to come out here when I can this winter and clean up in here. But see what I mean about the birds? You got to keep all this stuff. You got to keep it covered, otherwise it's just gonna turn into that. So, but this is the corner we're working on right now to get cleaned out. But today, I just had to get to where I could get. All right, which one wants to come out? Somebody be a leader. I don't even know how they get these in these boxes. That would not be a fun job, I'm thinking. Hey, got one. All right, these are more, I don't know, pliable, I guess, is some way that They definitely feel different, and they don't feel cheap. They got, what I do like about them is they got these little gussets here. A Gallagher post is usually cut off somewhere about right here for your step in. This one, they give you that extra. So, I'm quite curious to see how they work, but we got to sharpen them up. And like I said, you got all these nice little points. So, I got to make this a nice point in order to be able to get it in the ground. So let me see if I can. I probably can't do that one-handed, so let me get this one made and see how it goes. Alright, so that worked alright. Here's the pointed end. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. There's a pointed end compared to the flat end. You can tell they quite a bit of a difference there in between the two. And this here should help get stuff in the ground a lot better. So went ahead and I pulled this box out of this one because I gotta have a place to put these. So I guess I will be building a box just like that. Now I only got what is that now sound? Anyway, I got this box of 50. I got 100 to do, so 99 more. All right, everybody. It's taken me a long time because I had to round up everything, but we got all the post sharp. We got 50 post sharpened. Didn't feel like doing 100 quite today. I might come back to it yet this evening, but there's a mile of poly wire spooled on these spools. They didn't come on these spools. These spools came with this system. Some more of that farmer ingenuity. It's what you call a tire winder. Now, to let the wire out, that's fairly simple. You just have this on the front and you tie off to a post. Let me back out a little bit. And then you just kind of step off with your posts as you go along. The winding it back up, that's the fun part. With this system, this tire is on this big old screw, and it'll engage here, which will make this piece here go back and forth, and these spin with the tire. I can spin the clutch a little bit, but they'll spin, and that's how it winds up winds it all up. It was sitting here in the greenhouse, and we got a little bit of surface rust. So I was having a little bit of problem with that, but that's why it's engaged right now. And I'm going to go slow just to get this working better. But that wind, we'll see if we can't record some out there. But now that's set at the right distance for the spools to be like that, and then it'll keep it on there. And as long as the four-wheeler's moving, it's rolling it up, and then when you stop, it stops. So it's quite nice. We bought it last fall and been wanting to use it ever since, but when we went to bale grazing for winter, we didn't need it. And today I noticed I got to do a little bit of work on my four-wheeler. I got front axle boots leaking, and I'm pretty sure I got a bearing out on this tire here, but it's going to be in the shop here pretty quick. My shop, not no one else's. And we'll get it taken care of and good for the season. But yeah, this, you just pull it off. Cranking on it. Now it's should be good. And now we can go and it won't do nothing. So let's head up on top of the Windy City. As you can see, now the barn's not in the way. Placed all those bales out there, and we got to make an L. Got to go that way Then that way, get a fence put up. See if I can't get the ewes moved either yet tonight or in the morning. Alrighty folks, well the wind up here's going about 40 mile an hour. I'll get behind the truck here a little bit better. It's going to take us some time to get it all figured out too, on being speedy with it. But hey, I like it. I like it. Person will be able to put up a lot of fence in a hurry with that machine. Cool thing is, that can go on most things. It has harder time going on the older four-wheelers than the newer ones. He's a great guy that built it. Uses his every single day, run goats. 2-strand. Unless he's down, yeah, 2. I don't think he's down to a single yet. But there's gonna be a lot of this machine gonna be on the channel, just because that's what we're gonna do. A lot of it. So we rotation the graze, purpose built for that. So, well, everybody, the wind has finally let down after all day. It's nice. We got the sheep here. I just walked them. I didn't use the four-wheeler, but you know, the sheep have been where's their shed? There's their bales, there's their shed. So the sheep have been out there right in the middle of the camera, and we walked them down over there and then down the road. So they all got their exercise, as did I, which I needed. So, but this is the one thing I don't like about springtime, is when there's a little bit of green shoots and they're just starting up. Cows really can't get to it that good, but sheep, you have to hold them back. So, which is kind of why they're right here on top of this hilltop, and not down there. You can see that that's green out there. I didn't want to have all that green disappear, because I mean, you can tell, like, that's what they're doing. They got a little bit of taste of green as they walked over, and that's what they're gonna hunt. So they're gonna be out here. I don't know if I'll make it all the way through this, all the way through this feed or not before we move them again. I'm thinking I should, but this is our highest quality feed we have, and I got 11 bales down there left, and we have more hay up where they were. But for here in this location, once they get, if they even make it through all this, then they'll go back towards about where we had them. And well, if you wouldn't have ran in circles around me, you'd be breathing better. But so they got their water, they got their feed. It's a gorgeous evening here to move them finally after that wind. This winter's been bad on wind, but they're out here. I still got a few things to do. I got to get a water tank up here. I don't think it's going to freeze for a while, but it might rain, so I have to have extra water up here because if it does rain and it rains too hard, I won't be able to make it up this hillside with a pickup to get down all that. That's a lot of clay. So we've got to pick our battles, and we'll have a water tank up here so we can at least, let it dry out for a day. As windy as it's been, if we do get moisture, that's about what we get, is about a day's worth of not being able to move around all that good. So, but yeah, everybody's here. Get your tongue stuck back in. Yeah, good boy. You did okay. You did okay. Yeah. Let's go. Alright, that'll do it for tonight. You all have a good one.